Hello, welcome to macroeconomics class. And this is going to be a 10 module course where we'll be able to look into the key concepts that pertains to macroeconomics. The first module, which is this class, we deal with the introduction to macroeconomics. It is very essential for us to have a basic knowledge of the course before we move into the complex aspect of the course. So today, just like I said, we'll be looking into introduction to macroeconomics, and this module sets the stage for our exploration of the key concepts, the tools and objective of macroeconomics analysis. And we will begin with by clearly defining microeconomics, distinguishing it from microeconomics. Then we will introduce the circular flow of income, which is a fundamental model that depicts the interaction between different sectors of the economy. And finally, we look into the primary macroeconomics objectives that guides policy decision in the modern economy. Macroeconomics is one of the two main branches of economics. The other is the microeconomics. And why microeconomics focus on behavior of individual units such as household, firm, and market. Macroeconomics takes a broader view, and it leads us to the course microeconomics we did, where we looked into macroeconomics as a further of what's building on what microeconomics actually is. And it analyzes the economy as a whole, establishing large-scale economic phenomena and aggregates. And this includes the national income, the unemployment, inflation, economic growth, and monetary and fiscal policy. These are the things we will actually look into in the coming modules. And macroeconomics helps us understand how and why economics grow, what causes unemployment and inflation, and how government interventions such as taxation, government spending, and monetary policy can be a medium of stabilization or a medium through which the economy can be destabilized. And lastly, it's also an investigation into the dynamic relationship among different sectors and agents within the economy, highlighting how changes in one sector can influence outcome in another. What are the key macroeconomics definition? We have a number of them from different scholars, from John Maynard. It is the study of forces determining employment, income, and output in an economy as a whole. From the angle of Paul A. Samuelson, you can see it as the study of national aggregates such as total consumption, investments, exports, imports, and the general price level. From that of the Mankiw, it's the study of the economy as a whole. It actually explains changes affecting many household firms and markets simultaneously. And we look into that of Richard Froyen, which defines macroeconomics as that which deals with the performance, the structure, and behavior of an economy as a whole. And it studies aggregated indicators such as the GDP, the unemployment rate, and the price indices. From the aspect of David Colander, macroeconomics is examined as one, it's defined as one that examines the economy from a broad perspective. And by this, it seeks to understand economic growth, the role of government policy, and the interrelationship between different sectors. I'm trying to give this definition so that we will have a broader view of what macroeconomics is. And lastly, from Rodiger and Stanley, we can see macroeconomics as a branch of economics that studies the behavior and performance of an economy in its totality, and its focus on changes in the overall level of national income, the employment, and prices. And you can see that from these definitions that we've looked into, it highlights macroeconomics as aggregate focus. It also looked at it in the whole economic perspective, also in the aspect of policy orientation, dynamic analysis, and a blend of empirical and theoretical approach. What are the scope of macroeconomics? We have a number of them, and the scope encompasses all the broad areas of economic inquiry that deals with the overall performance, the structure, the behavior, and decision-making of an entire economy. And while definitions help us understand what macroeconomics actually is, the scope on its own reveals what it studies, how it functions, and why it is significant. And from this, we could see a number of the scope of macroeconomics. The first is the national income and output. For this, it examines the measurement and analysis of GDP, the GNP, the NNP, the NI, PI, DI. You will see every of this as we move on in the course. Also, another scope is the employment and unemployment, which deals with the understanding of causes and types of unemployment and the relationship between unemployment and output. Also, we have the inflation and deflation, which is another aspect of the study, and it investigates changes in the general price level and their causes, the consequence, and measurement. We look into the economic growth and development, which is another scope of macroeconomics. It examines sources of sustained increase in output and qualitative improvement in living standard. We look into the monetary and fiscal policy, which deals with government tools like interest rates, money supply, the spendings, and the likes. We look another scope is the international trade and finance. At this, we look into the analysis of balance of payments, the exchange rates, trade policies, and global capital flow. And another scope is the business cycle and fluctuation, which focuses on the causes of recession and boom, the effectiveness of counter um, cyclical policies. And we will also look into, another scope is the distribution of income and wealth, which considers inequality and its macro economic implication, and also the effects of the policy on equity. This actually will be what we will look into as we move on in the course. When we talk about the circular flow of income, what do we actually mean? The circular flow of income is one of the most fundamental model in macroeconomics, and it actually illustrates how income, the output, and expenditure move continuously through different sectors of the economy. And at the core of this is a model which explains the dynamic relationship between household firm and other economic agents in terms of the flow of money and resources. And this model can be seen uh, in four. And the first one is the two-sector model. And under this, it is known as the simplest form, where the circular flow involves two main sectors, which is the household and the firm. And the household supply factors to firm receiving income. So the firm produce goods and service selling to household. And in this, there is no government, foreign trade, or savings. And the second one is the three-sector model. And under this, we look at it as the model asserting that the circular flow becomes more realistic when the government sector is introduced, and the governments affect the economy in two ways in terms of taxation, government expenditure, and they collect taxes, which is known as a leakage, and inject spendings, which is known as the public goods or salary and the likes. Another is the four sector model, and under this, the model asserts that when a country engages in international trade, it introduces foreign sector lending, leading to exports, which is injection, and import, which is leakages. And you can see as it's then denoted in such. We look into those concepts one after the other in the class. And the five sector model, which is the last one, is a model that captures the role of financial institution in channeling fund from savers to investors, and it introduces financial sector leading to savings, which is leakage, and then the investment, which is injection. What are the basic macroeconomics objective that we have? Macroeconomics are the key goals that the objective of macroeconomics are the key goals that guide a nation's economic policy, and they aim to ensure economic stability, growth, and the well-being of the population. And this objective actually often interact and achieve all simultaneously. Achieving all simultaneously may involve trade-off. And for purpose of explanation, this basic macroeconomics are the full employment, the price stability, the economic growth, the balance of payment stability, equitable income distribution, the exchange rate stability, and the sustainable development. For full employment, it's ensuring everyone willing and able to work and find employment, and that's one of the basic macroeconomics objective. Also, in terms of price stability, that's there will be a maintenance of low and predictable inflation to protect money value. Also, for the economic growth, where it brings about a sustained increase in output, leading to improved living standard. Another objective under the balance of payment stability is having the opportunity to maintain a healthy balance between export and import. Also, a basic macroeconomics objective is the it means it helps to reduce inequality and ensuring growth benefits all segments of society. Also, in terms of the exchange rate stability, the macroeconomics plays a role in promoting investors' confidence and facilitating international trade. And lastly, under the sustainable development, we could see that macroeconomics play a role in terms of balancing economic progress with ecological responsibility. In conclusion, macroeconomics is vital for understanding the economy as a whole, focusing on the national income, the unemployment, the inflation and growth, and it equips policymakers with tools that are necessary for effective fiscal and monetary strategies, ensuring stability and sustainable development. So having the understanding of macroeconomics is very, very important to ensure an informed decision making in both the public policy and then the private enterprise. Thank you.